Here we go, JTP out front, Pat Gooden giving chase. The first battle, the top 16 here at Road Atlanta. We're live around the, oh! JTP, Justin Pollock with a major mistake. Now Justin Pollock talked to Red Nickel about his accident. Is something rearing its ugly head, Ryan? Not a pretty run from Pat Gooden, but that's a hard act to follow. Ryan, what happened to JTP? JTP sitting on this deficit. He knows he needs to let it all hang out. And when he gets fired up, it could bite him. It could work out to his advantage. Pat Gooden going in hard in that first front clip. Good job by Gooden and Pollock. Shadowing him like the black shadow he is. Gooden gets out there. Look at JTP all over Pat Gooden. Ryan, I want to look at this replay here.
Well, watch Justin. Watch how aggressive he is on initiation right here. He wants to take this win from Pat Gooden. He knows he's at a deficit. He comes back super strong right here, coming up the hill. Pat Gooden shooting out to this outer zone right here. JTP comes up, takes some proximity away on taking that inside line. And then this is where we get a little bit of contact right here. On the face of it, it looks like JTP runs into Pat Gooden. We'll have to confer with the judges. And
there it is. Pat Gooden gets the win. Pat Gooden gets the win as JTP, Justin Pollock, knocks himself out. Mad Mike Wadette will be leading Forrest Wang in this head-to-head battle. In that Red Bull Mazda MX-5 on Nitto tires as Forrest Wang getting Nuts Laboratory, Hankook tires, 2JZ S15. Here we go. Mad Mike Wadette out front. Forrest Wang giving chase. Little feint entry. Nice initiation. Forrest Wang actually mimicking that initiation. Mad Mike Wadette, oh, look at Forrest Wang getting into the dirt. Mad Mike Wadette bringing it into the horseshoe. That outside clipping zone. Crawling through the horseshoe is Mad Mike Wadette. Forrest Wang, great composure from Forrest Wang on that horseshoe. Make some noise for Mad Mike Wadette. I mean, this should be fun. Here we go. Forrest Wang out front. Oh, look at that big feint in front of Mike Wadette coming to that first front clip. All right, Forrest Wang turning it up the hill. Look at that, leaving Mike Wadette in the dust. The angle from Forrest Wang into that rear clipping zone, firing off both these guys. Look at Forrest Wang working the pedals. Look at the smoke covering the track. Woo! Oh, doctor, look at this. An absolutely insane run right now. Somebody call the fire department. Unreal. Yeah, I just say one more time because I want to see him run again, selfishly.
Well, you can see right there, both guys definitely want this run. It was a close battle on the first run right here. Mad Mike gets up right on the inside of Forrest Wang. Forrest does a great job right there. A little bit of a shimmy right there from Mad Mike. Straightens out just for a second. Little bit of separation right here. Look at Forrest Wang on the throttle right there, popping a huge, just an amazing amount of smoke out on track. Then a little bit of separation right here as Forrest Wang comes back around. Mad Mike digging as fast as he possibly can as both drivers cross the finish line. An incredible run.
Forrest Wang, Mad Mike Wadette. Here we go. Sliding left for Forrest. Sliding right for Mad. There's one more time. There's one for Forrest Wang. And Brian says, one more time. They're going at it again. It's a one more time battle. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang RTR going against Fast Kenny Moen in that Gottville Achilles Radial S14. Nice job by Vaughn Gittin Jr. coming in. Oh! Kenny Moen strikes. Vaughn Gittin Jr. placed it on the rear end. Vaughn Gittin Jr. bringing it on down home as Kenny Moen. Wow, that's what's up.
We are starting off really, really big here tonight. Right on initiation, good snappy initiation by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Kenny Moen going, gives a little bit of room right here and then gets up on the inside on the attack right here. Does a nice job. Vaughn stays very wide into that first outer zone, into the second outer zone. Kenny Moen right with him on that that second inside clip. Now the transition down the hill here. Both drivers on throttle. Kenny takes out that cone on transition. A little bit of separation right here. Another phenomenal run by both the lead and the chase driver here.
Remember, we'll go back to the Wadette-Wang battle. And here we go. Moen and Gittin coming to that first front clip. There's Kenny Moen buttoning it up. Here comes Vaughn Gittin Jr. up the hill. As Kenny Moen brings it in that rear clipping zone. Nice job by Kenny Moen. Vaughn Gittin Jr. up in the mix. How are they going to transition out? How's the proximity? How's the speed? As Vaughn spins! Vaughn Gittin Jr. spins out! Vaughn Gittin Moen Jr. spins out, taking himself out. There it is. Kenny Moen advances on to the Great Eight. Mad Mike Cadet will lead. Forrest Wang giving chase through that start chicane. And here comes the Red Bull. Wow, aggressive feint entry by Mad Mike Cadet. Ripping away Mad Mike up the hill. Here comes Forrest Wang. Mad Mike lacking the angle, now bringing it into the horseshoe, tightening it up. This is where Forrest Wang really shined last time, Ryan. Unfortunately, right now, he does not have the proximity. Bringing it back up the hill, makes some noise for Wadet and Wang. On the second half of this battle. All right, where are my two JZ fans at? Under the hood of S15, look at that feint entry. Mike Wadet dropping into formation. Keeps his composure, heading up the hill. Woo! Mike Wadet gets lost in the smoke, firing off. Both these guys on it, in it to win it. Wadet swings wide, comes to a halt. Mike Wadet, smoke, dust, fire. All the elements are here at Road Atlanta. There it is. Forrest Wang gets the win in that one more time battle. Odi Bakshis, the V8 Field Suspension Art Performance S14 versus Masashi Yokoi in that D-Max Yokohama tire shrouded S15 Sylvia. Here we go. Odi out front. Yokoi giving chase. Coming that first initiation and that first clip is Odi Bakshis catapulting ahead of Yokoi. Ooh, Odi Bakshis dancing with the dirt into that rear clipping zone, allowing Yokoi to catch up. Good threading of the needle by Yokoi, but man, an absolute beast is Odi Bakshis. Yokoi leading, Bakshis giving chase. Here we go, into that first front clip. Shoving a lot of speed is Yokoi. The chrome nose of Yokoi and his D-Max S15. Look at Odi coming into his business, knocking on his door. Good composure by Odi. Woo! A great transfer by Odi Bakshis. Look at him left foot braking, coming back around that final flip. That is a sign of seat time, being familiar with your car, making sure and confident that your vehicle has what it takes.
Well, we all got our money's worth after those first three runs, and it just keeps going. Yokoi drops a tire on initiation. Odi Bakshis right there in chase. Now transitioning up the hill. Odi looking for a place to attack here. A little bit of shakiness right there as Yokoi comes up a little bit short on that outer zone. Odi takes advantage of it, comes up on the inside right here. Both drivers now door to door as we come down the hill here. Very, very close to each other, close in proximity. Odi really tightening the door right here. Transitions a little bit backwards, and then you can see right there he loses a little bit of ground to Yokoi on that last inside clip.
All right, so here we go. Odi Bakshis grabs the win. Odi Bakshis grabs the win. And Stoneback is no slouch. He qualified 18th yesterday. Here we go. Osbo out front, who qualified second. The Rockstar Energy Drink, Henko Tires Scion TC, ripping up the hill. As Stoneback brings it on in to the door of the Scion TC, nosing in. How is he going to transition? Osbo pours it on and pulls away. I mean, that thing is just absolutely glued to the track. Osbo giving chase as they come down the hill. Ford go further, top 16. Who's going to go further? As Stoneback woo, heads up the hill into the horseshoe. Stoneback pouring on the angle. Tries to get to the outside clipping zone a little. Oh! Osbo with big correction. A huge correction from Frederick Osbo right now. Ryan Sage, are we seeing another giant have a misstep and take themselves out? Judge's scorecard is up. Osbo and Stoneback. Left means they're going for Stoneback. And there it is. Jeff Stoneback takes out Frederick Osbo. Here we are. Chris Forsberg will lead. Ryan Turk giving chase. Chris Forsberg in the NOS Energy Drink, Henko Tires 370Z. Ryan Turk, United States Air Force. Retax Lifestyle Backpacks, Maxxis, FRS. Here we go, Forsberg up the hill into that first rear clipping zone, into the second. Ryan Turk applying the pressure. Forsberg gets out to the rear clipping zone, tightening up to the front. Out of the horseshoe. Got lost in the smoke as Forsberg heads back up the hill. And taking a cone with them. You're either in person or online watching Formula Drift live as Ryan Turk throws it in the Retax Backpacks, FRS. Both of them transitioning, throwing fire as Forsberg goes into the side of Ryan Turk. Turk. Forsberg pushes hard, popping and locking at that 2JZ FRS. Forsberg pushing Ryan Turk through the course. Make some noise for Forsberg and Turk. You guys are witnessing absolute history tonight.
Well, here we go, Jared. Obviously, a lot to talk about in this battle right here. Forsberg probably had an advantage on that first run. Comes out super aggressive on the second. You can see him, he gets on the brakes right there and looks like he makes contact with Ryan Turk. That seems to be, on the face of it, an overly aggressive move by Chris Forsberg. But like the champions that they both are, amazing. Just get right back on it and drive all the way through the course. Forsberg completely mirroring Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk staying in it the entire time.
Here we go, Forsberg and Turk. Sliding left is Turk. There's Forsberg. Oh, look at this. So it's unanimous. Forsberg gets the win. Forsberg gets the win. And I'm hearing boos.
So obviously all three judges were deeming that Ryan Turk was heading off course in that direction. And that is why Chris Forsberg was not at fault there. And I can definitely see that. He did seem to have that trajectory, and at the same time, Chris was slowing up. So a tough call for the judges, but I could definitely see why it went in that direction.
I think it really came down to, the lead car. Where was he going? It's like your mom says, if your friend jumps off a bridge, are you? Turk was jumping off a bridge. Forsberg did too. I think that was the case.
On first face, whenever there's contact from the chase position, it always looks like it's the chase. You really have to take a look and analyze it. It did look like Turk was going off course, and Forsberg, trying to avoid him, makes a little bit of contact.
And these guys know. I mean, they've driven against each other. They trust each other. So Forsberg's like, dude, wherever you go, I'll follow you. They knew they were going to throw down a gangster run. Unfortunately, Turk was leading the wrong line. So here we go. Forsberg advances. Who's going to advance out of this pair? Conrad Grunwald. Now replay XD, always evolving. Chevrolet Camaro on Megan Racing. And look at this. The Team Orange vehicle of Charles Ng coming up the hill. Maxxis Tires, Sparkplugs.com, G37. Through the horseshoe is the Camaro. Charles Ng transitions out. Getting tight is Charles Ng to the back of that Chevrolet Camaro. Okay, so here we go. Charles Ng will now lead Conrad. Whoa! Ng dives in hard on that first front clip, going off course. Ng is all over the track right now. Conrad Grunwald keeping his composure. Conrad Grunwald takes out that clip as Charles Ng dusts him off to the races. Here we go. Slide left for Ng, slide right for Conrad. Ryan, Andy, and Brian. Verdict is in. Charles Ng, one more time, and Charles Ng. Charles Ng gets the win. Charles Ng gets the win. Ken Gushi in the Gretty Scion Racing Hankook Tires FRS. Alec in the Get Nuts Laboratory Magnuson Supercharged V8 S14. Here we go. Gushi out front. Alec giving chase. In the first front clip, Gushi lunges forward. Good aggressive line as Alec hits the dirt. Here comes Gushi. Oh, Alec goes off course. Gushi maintains in between the lines. Out of the horseshoe as Alec. He had a fuel pump issue last round of competition, and here he is. Alec will be leading. Gushi will be giving chase. Wow, look at that coming close. Quite a bit of distance here between these gentlemen. Is Gushi, playing some strategy here? He better pour it on, otherwise this might be an inactive chase, and just as I say that, it is not. I think he's given himself enough distance knowing that he could reel him in. And there it is. Whoa! Alex shut it down. That's going to seal the deal for Gushi. Oh, man. Alec blowing some flames down there. Oh, wow. We got some fire here. All right, let's... Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. Roasting some marshmallows out here on track is Honadell. All right, so here's the verdict. You obviously know what's going to transpire here. Slide him right. The Goosh, Ken Gushi, advances on to the Great Eight. Here we go. Make some noise, Atlanta. The Great Eight is upon us. Forrest Wang, Pat Gooden. Wang will lead, and Gooden will give chase. Here we go. Wang, a feint entry. Gooden goes for the straight line approach, dropping in formation as Wang. He has that information of being down a cylinder. Is that going to come to his advantage and use that as strategy? Wang way off that rear clipping zone, allowing Gooden to get that proximity. And sweating Wang is Pat Gooden, and then Ajuku Racing S13. Coming up the hills, Forrest Wang. Woo! Make some noise for Wang and Gooden. The grass bowl here. Here we go. Gooden out front. Wang giving chase. Wang throws it in. As Gooden gets tight to that front clip. Oh, as Gooden, look at that, throwing up some dirt, goes off course. How and what is going to unfold now for Gooden and Wang? Gooden in that lead position, going off course. That's not where you want to be. Unfortunately for Gooden in that lead position, that's not what he needed to do to really solidify it and advance on, Ryan. As we wait for the judges' verdict, and here it is. Both these guys on Turbo by Garrett, Turbo Life, and sliding right are all the three judges. Forrest Wang advances on. Forrest Wang in the Get Nuts Laboratory. Sylvia S15. Odie Bakshi's qualifying 5th to Kenny Moen's 13th. They leave the start line. This should be an exciting one. Both these guys very fast, good composure. I'm telling you, Odie is the guy to watch. Odie Bakshi's coming in, losing that skin on his back bumper, coming into the horseshoe. Fully wound up into the rear clipping zone as Bakshi's out of the horseshoe are Odie and Kenny. Wow! Odie Bakshi's as Kenny Moen. Woo! All right, here we go, Ryan, leaving the start through the start chicane. Kenny Moen out front, Gothville, Achilles radial S14. Around that first front clip, coming up the hill. Kenny Moen about 3 car lengths out. Coming to the second rear clipping zone. Kenny dance. Oh, Odie Bakshi's kind of a straightening there, failing to get out to that rear clipping zone. And Odie taking out that exit cone. That is not a clipping point. That was not a clipping point as they exit the horseshoe. Destroy K Drift. Here we go. The judge's verdict is in. One more time there. Oh, look at this. One more time. They're going at it again. Ryan, you got some words with the judges?
Yeah, I mean, I totally see that because it was basically 2 really big mistakes and 2 runs where the leads were pretty similar, you know. And I definitely think we need to see a clear winner there, and so I'm pretty much in agreement with that.
Chris Forsberg, 2014 champion. Jeff Stoneback, Mark Lenardin riding shotgun. Here we go. Forsberg out front, Stoneback giving chase. Forsberg throws it into the first front clip. Stoneback, a correction and a straightening by Stoneback in that first clip. Another correction by Stoneback. As Forsberg goes through the paces, Stoneback having some issues right now. Transitions out, oh, and Stoneback, another big mistake by Stoneback. So Stoneback sitting on a big deficit right now as Stoneback initiates into that first front clip. Here comes Forsberg. As Stoneback rockets up the hill, so you can see the little brown cloud throwing up. Forsberg noses in into the horseshoe and out. As Stoneback heads back up. Oh, and Forsberg goes off. Forsberg goes off into the dirt. Ryan, Andy, and Brian. Stoneback on the left, Forsberg on the right. Look at this. So they're saying Forsberg gets the win. All right, Odie leaving the start line and through the start chicane. Kenny Moen coming down the hill. Wow, a big gap. Where's Kenny? Kenny having some issues or just a total brain fart here from Moen? I mean, this is quite a change of pace from what we've seen throughout the evening, not only from Kenny, but from all the drivers. As Odie Bakshi's goes through the course, I mean, that's not something you regularly see from Kenny Moen. Just Kenny Moen will now lead, and Ryan just, I mean, that's like a sandbag move when he didn't need to sandbag. Like right now, he needed to push it, but now we'll see how he does out front. Coming to that first clip, here's Kenny Moen, nice job. Odie Bakshi's a few car lengths behind him. Good job mimicking each other. Out of the horseshoe, Odie Bakshi's checks up, making sure he doesn't make contact, and back up the hill. Pretty straight approach there from these guys. What's crazy here is Odie's coming to this round second in points. This is huge for the Bakshi's team. And there it is, let's make it official. Odie is in the final 4. Odie Bakshi's is in the final 4. We are seeing Ken Gushi and Charles Ng Here we go, Gucci out front, and that Scion FRS coming into the first front clip. Transitioning in and up into the horseshoe. Look at the angle, using the whole course as the Goosh. Exiting the horseshoe. Charles Ng really lacking some angle there. Whoa, barely holding on to it. Here we go. Ng out front, Gucci giving chase. As Charles Ng slides into that first front clip. Up the hill into the second rear clipping zone. Ken Gucci sweating Ng. Are we going to see Gucci in the final four? Bringing it on down the hill. Gucci and Ng and Gucci. Whoa.
Well, like you said, Jared, Ken Gucci going for his first Final Four in quite a while here. Will this be enough to get him through? Both drivers putting on some good action on the course here. Charles Ng coming into the first corner right there. Ken Gucci trying to nose in right here, take some of that advantage away and some of that distance away from Charles Ng. He's able to do that. Maxes out the angle so he does not make contact there. Good move by Gucci on the inside. Now coming down the hill here is Charles Ng. He's on this middle line, comes up on the inside line now. Gucci sees it. And then both drivers cross the finish line.
All right, so digesting both of these runs between Ng and Gucci. We haven't seen Gucci in the Final Four for quite some time, but I have a feeling we're going to see him now. And there it is. Ken Gucci. Ken Gucci. Field suspension, ARC Performance, Nitto Tire S14. Forrest Wang, Ginuts Laboratory Hankook Tires S15. Coming down the hill, Odi Bakshis diving in. Forrest Wang dropping back a bit. Come on now. As Odi Bakshis brings it into the rear clipping zone. Forrest Wang, a big mistake. A huge magnanimous mistake from Wang. Wang wrapping on his clutch. Wang out front. Odi going for another podium. Here we go. Forrest Wang, feint entry. Pushing hard into that first front clip. Crazy amount of angle from Wang. Here comes Bakshis. Cool, calm, and collect, lacking the angle. Here's Wang diving in. Very shallow through the course. Odi Bakshis. Great composure from a big mistake from Wang. The angle from Wang. But Bakshis, man, look at that. I mean, look at it once again, Ryan. That horseshoe, the way Bakshis was able to just maintain the angle and keep composure is beyond me.
Well, you could tell Forrest Wang was clearly upset about that run because he just mashes the throttle all the way through here. Now, Odi Bakshis is a little bit measured here. Look at the angle from Wang, but he does not get down to that outer zone, driving a little bit recklessly, just putting it all out on the line here. Look at the plumes of smoke coming out here, and you can see Odi Bakshis is able to make his way through. He makes a tiny bit of a correction right there as he transitions back around, comes through the smoke cloud again, and then crosses the finish line. Very entertaining right here in the Final Four between these two incredible warriors.
Entertaining is just a mellow way of putting it, dude.
This is just so entertaining. I mean, the kids are just loving it these days.
I mean, this is absolutely some of the best drifting. Ryan, I mean, you said it early on, some of the best drifting we've ever seen in Formula Drift history.
Road Atlanta brings out the best, and look at this.
Odi Bakshis gets the win. Odi is guaranteed. Odi Bakshis is guaranteed another podium back to back. He got second place in Long Beach, and here he is once again. And get this, Forrest Wang, unfortunately, outside. He qualified 9th compared to Forsberg and Gucci, who qualified 6th and 7th. So, our podium is set. The order is up for grabs. Odi guaranteed at minimum second place. And now, Forsberg versus Gucci to go against Bakshis for the win. The loser guaranteed 3rd place and that final podium spot. Forsberg giving chase, away they go. Who's going against Bakshis in the finals? Gucci or Forsberg? Here comes Gucci into that first front clip. Forsberg applying the pressure. Good initiation by Ken Gucci. Transitions up the hill. That 2JZ FRS. Forsberg, a biggest straight line approach, trying to gain that proximity to Gucci into the horse. Oh! Flames shooting out of the back of Forsberg's car. He went back to the future. As Forsberg maintains through the horseshoe. Make some noise, Atlanta! This is like Irwindale when Forsberg got off. I mean, dude, make some noise, Atlanta!
Well, we're definitely going to have to take a look at Forsberg's vehicle. You can see that he did drop some fluid there that was clearly flammable. But let's take a look at this replay because this is a really good run by both guys. Ken Gucci initiates at the number 2 cone. Chris Forsberg right on the inside. Gucci taking that inside line, now shooting out wide. Forsberg, a little bit of shallowness right there. Gucci really maxing out the angle, goes deep into that outer zone. Forsberg right there up on the inside. Now that is where the incident happens, but it does not seem to affect Chris Forsberg. He stays on throttle all the way through, and meanwhile Gucci lays down a near flawless lead run. So
where there's smoke, there's fire. Literally, Forsberg will lead. Gucci giving chase, initiating into that first front clip. Who's going to the finals? Coming up the hill is Forsberg. Ken Gucci. I have not seen him drive like this in years as he dives in on Forsberg. Ken Gucci is on a tear in that Gretty Scion Racing FRS. Make some noise, Atlanta.
Well, no lack of a show here. As you can see, Chris Forsberg initiates into the first corner. Gucci is right there. Both guys just a little bit of braking on initiation. Now coming up the hill here, you can see both drivers really pushing hard as Forsberg fills that first outer zone. Now that second outer zone, Gucci is right there in tow. Good transition down the hill by both guys. And you can see leaving nothing on the track by both drivers. Gucci through the smoke cloud. Forsberg right on that inside clip. Ooh, really close run here.
What do you guys think? Is it Forsberg or Gucci? Here we go. Ryan says Forsberg. One of the judges, Ryan. One more time. They're going at it again. One more time. Forsberg with 8 wins, 24 podiums, compared to 7 podiums of Ken Gucci. Here we go. Ken Gucci brings it on in. Coming up the hill, Forsberg gets into the dirt, pours on more angle. As Gucci brings it into the rear clipping zone. Forsberg nosing in. Out of the horseshoe. Transition back up the hill, make some noise for Gooch and Forsberg. Ryan, take a look at it again, buddy.
Well, here we go. Ken Gucci is on fire tonight, carrying so much speed through this course. Chris Forsberg trying to take him out, trying to get on into that first place position. You can see a mistake by Forsberg in the chase position right there. Gets on the brakes. Ken Gucci, nice job on that second outer zone. Gucci just very fluid, nice impact. Forsberg great on proximity. Just that little bit of a mistake coming up the hill that right there for Forsberg, but otherwise Ken Gucci, solid lead run.
Forsberg going to lead. Ken Gucci giving chase. Make some noise at home. Hashtag FDATL. Forsberg throws it into the first front clip, pulling away. Dancing with the dirt once again. Gucci's coming in hard in that rear clipping zone. Forsberg riding that razor's edge. Gucci right there next to him. Gucci not backing down. Coming out of the horseshoe. Back up the hill is Forsberg. Ken Gucci sliding up the hill. Oh! Gucci going into the dirt. We saw this from Forsberg. Oh, yeah. My gosh.
Both guys putting on an incredible show here. Ken Gucci staying with Chris Forsberg on initiation there. Now coming up the hill right there. Chris Forsberg pulling away just a little bit. Gucci trying to catch up, make some ground. Nice job by Gucci. Nice job by Forsberg going really deep into that zone. Good job on that inside clip by Forsberg. Ken Gucci right here, just a little bit of separation. He stayed with them most of the way, and Forsberg transitions back around. Gucci falls back just a little bit, and then you can see a lot of dirt right there.
Here we go. Who is going to the finals, Forsberg or Gucci? One more time. One more time. Oh, man. It never fails. Never fails. I mean, we've seen Gucci and Forsberg have some great runs. Not phenomenal, not perfect. And obviously, you know, the fire that's going to make a lot of memes and a lot of internet videos. Here we go. Gucci in the lead position for the second one more time. Here we go, Atlanta. And worldwide, watching across the globe. Who's going to the finals? Gucci in that first rear clipping zone, coming in hot. Forsberg right there. Good aggression from both these guys. Into the horseshoe. Out of the horseshoe. Running through the gears. Hand-cooked tire smoke strewn about the track. That was a solid lead run and chase run by both these gentlemen, Ryan.
Well, that's about what you're used to with Chris Forsberg. That's that consistency in play there. So hard to shake. But Ken Gucci has just been on the lock all night long. And you can see he basically runs the exact same lead run every single time. Very smooth, nice up the hill. Does a perfect job on that outer zone 1. Deep and fast into outer zone 2. But Forsberg is right there all the way. Great job on that inside clip. Good transition around. Look at all the smoke on course as both drivers are literally door to door on this last turn. As Gucci hits that inside clip perfectly. Forsberg right there.
Here we go. Forsberg leading. Gucci giving chase. Initiating into that first clip. into the dirt, throwing up a little brown cloud. Wow, look at Gucci up in his business. Ken Gucci is all over Chris Forsberg. Woo! Are you kidding me? Atlanta and the globe. Forsberg now pulling away from Ken Gucci. Make some friggin' noise, Atlanta and across the globe.
What is going on?
Insane run by these two veterans of the sport.
Oh my gosh, that was unbelievable. This is the first time all night I think we've seen that close a proximity going up the hill. Check this out right here. Chris Forsberg comes out strong. Gucci dives in. Watch how close he gets to Chris Forsberg up the hill. He maintains it. No contact. That usually happens right there. Stays super close to Chris around this inside clip. Forsberg absolutely on fire as well. We start to see the first little batch of separation right here, but it's nothing major as both drivers cross the finish line. An incredible run by Chris Forsberg and Ken Gucci.
You know, here we go. So the verdicts are in. Who's going to the finals against Odie? Is it Forsberg or Gucci? Left is Forsberg, Gucci is right. And Ken Gucci gets the win. Ken Gucci gets the win. Who's ready to send it? Atlanta, Odie Bakshi's, Ken Gucci, here we go. Odie Bakshi's coming to that first front clip. Here he goes, Ken Gucci dropping into formation. Look at the proximity. But just as I say that, he pulls away. And I mean, Odie coming into the horseshoe. Working at what? Wow, right there. Putting the car in the right place is Odie Bakshi's. Ken Gucci taps and knocks over the cone. And back up the hill. Odie making quick work of Ken Gucci in that lead position there, Ryan.
Well, for the type of proximity that Ken had against Chris Forsberg, it's hard to believe that he ran away from Odie Bakshi's, but that's what he does right here, or Odie rather running away from Ken. You can see right here just a little bit of separation here. Ken was strong on initiation, fell back a little bit, gave some room to Odie. Odie does a good job right there filling that zone. Ken with a little bit shallower angle, just not able to fill the zone all the way. Now here comes Odie down the hill. Ken getting on the accelerator here, trying to close the gap a little bit as Odie takes that wide line again that he's been doing all night. And
is he going to grab his first ever win? Is Ken Gucci going to grab his first win in 10 years? Who's it going to be? Ken Gucci hasn't seen the podium since 09. Here we go. Ken Gucci and Odie Bakshi's. Coming up the hill is Gucci. Odie Bakshi's. Oh, Ken Gucci throws it in. A big, the back left wheel has some damage. Ken Gucci, his back wheel's not supposed to do that, but he continues drifting the course. Make some noise for Ken Gucci and Odie Bakshi's. Let's take a look at it again, Ryan, especially look in the keyhole.
Well, here we go. Ken Gucci right there initiates, goes over the rumble strip. Odie Bakshi's is right there. Great job on proximity. Gets on the brakes a little bit. Keeps the angle there. Ken Gucci, a lot of angle right there. And you can see, yeah, his wheel would look like it was touching the side part of his side skirt right there, causing it to flutter a little bit. You can see Odie makes a little bit of a mistake, falls back outside the keyhole, then gets back on it. And Ken Gucci crosses the finish line right along with Odie Bakshi. So
all right, here we go. Here's your 1, 2, and 3. Third place here, round 2 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. Here at Road Atlanta for the 12th installment, the second round of 7. Third place in the NOS Energy Drink Hankook Tires Nissan 370Z, Chris the Force Forsberg. And when I announce second place, you'll know who gets the win. Second place here at Road Atlanta. In front of all these fans. The 12th installment. He's been here every single year. The Gretty Scion Racing, Scion FRS. Your second place finisher on Hankook Tires, Ken Gucci. That means your winner here in Road Atlanta unanimously. In the field suspension, ARC Performance, Nitto Tires, S14, and your current Formula Drift points leader, Adamus Odie Bakshi's is your winner here in Atlanta. Back-to-back podiums for Odie. There's your 1, 2, and 3. Odie, Gucci, and Forsberg.